All right, let's get right into it. Google's new Pixel 10 is here, and really, the big headline, no surprise, is all about AI. Google is basically making a huge bet that by making your phone way smarter, it can completely change how you use it every single day. So today, we're going to break down the biggest, most interesting AI features that are trying to pull that off. And this quote, this really says it all. It's from Sonia Jobanputra, one of the product directors at Google. And the goal is to give you back time by eliminating the mundane and boring from your life. I mean, that is a huge promise, right? But it's also the big idea, the thread that ties together everything we're about to talk about. So that's the big question, isn't it? How does a phone actually do that? I mean, it's got to be more than just a faster chip. This is about building software that, gets you. Software that can actually anticipate what you need. So let's dig into the specifics and see how they're trying to make it happen. Okay, first up, let's talk about something we all use constantly, the camera. And what Google's doing here is pretty interesting. They're not just throwing better hardware at the problem, they're actually trying to make you a better photographer by totally rethinking how the camera works. And let's be honest, this is a problem most of us have, right? You've got this incredibly powerful camera in your pocket, a little professional studio, but we almost never use it to its full potential. We just point and shoot, because who has the time to mess with all those settings and pro features? It just feels like a chore. So here's their answer. Camera Coach. And this is pretty cool. Think of it like having a personal photography tutor built right into your camera. The process is super simple. You just point your phone at whatever you want to shoot. The AI then shows you some examples, like, hey, you could try framing it like this. And then it literally puts guides on your screen to help you line up the perfect shot. It's all about teaching you how to use this powerful camera in a really hands-on, easy-to-understand way. All right, now for something that's a real flex of both hardware and software. This is a big one. It's exclusive to the Pixel 10 Pro, but Google is pushing the zoom all the way to 100x. Yeah, you heard that right, 100x. That is a massive jump. So, you're probably wondering, how in the world do they do that? Well, it's not just a bigger lens, it's a feature called ProRes Zoom, and it uses generative AI to essentially predict and fill in the missing details. It sharpens things up when you're zoomed in that incredibly far. Now, and this is important, Google is being transparent about this. They're adding a C2PA watermark, which is basically an industry standard way of saying, hey, just so you know, AI helped create parts of this image. It's all about content credentials. And the AI train keeps on rolling, right into the editing process. In Google Photos, there's a new feature called Help Me Edit. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You can forget about hunting for sliders and tools. You just talk to it. You type in plain English, hey, can you remove that person in the background or make the sky a little bluer? And boom, the AI just does it. It basically turns photo editing into a simple conversation. Okay, so that's the camera. Now let's shift gears and look at how AI is changing our daily chats and calls. Because Google's next big push is all about making our conversations smarter and, getting rid of all those tiny little annoyances that add up during the day. So to see what I mean, let's walk through a scenario we've all been in. This is for a new feature called Magic Queue. Picture this. You get a text. It's from your mom, and she's asking for your flight info for that trip you're taking next week. Okay, so what do you normally do? You sigh, you close your messages, you open up Gmail, you search for the flight confirmation, copy the flight number, go back to the message. You know the drill. It's a whole process. But with Magic Queue, the phone's AI is already working in the background, looking through your other Google apps for you. And here's the magic. It finds that flight info in your email and just pops it up as a little suggestion bubble right there in your chat. All you have to do is tap it to send. And a really key point here, Google makes it clear that this all happens on your device. Your data isn't being sent to the cloud for this, which is a big deal for privacy. You know what else is getting a serious, long overdue upgrade? Voicemail. Think about it. The old way is just an audio file you have to listen to. But Google's new Take a Message feature completely changes the game. It doesn't just record it, it transcribes the whole thing right there in your call history. And even better, it understands what's being said. So if someone mentions a meeting time, it'll suggest creating a calendar event for you. So smart. Okay, this next one, this is straight out of a sci-fi movie, for real. So live translation on calls, we've seen that before. But this is a whole new level. The Pixel 10 can now create a version of your own voice to speak the translation. So when you're on a call with someone who speaks another language, they hear the translation in a voice that sounds like you, not some generic robot. It even tries to mimic your tone and inflection.
It's kind of wild.
So up until now, we've mostly seen AI reacting to things, reacting to your photos, reacting to your messages. But the next big leap is making that AI truly proactive, where it starts to anticipate what you need and helps you out before you even think to ask. And a great example of this is a new journal app from Google. It's not just a blank page. The AI gives you personalized prompts based on goals you set. It can even offer AI-powered reflections on what you've written to give you some insights on your well-being. Plus, you can tag entries with these little tone emojis to track your mood, and the whole thing is locked down behind a pin for privacy. Then you've got something called the Daily Hub. This is part of that at-a-glance widget on your home screen. A few times a day, it'll pop up with this smart summary, showing you what's next on your calendar, important reminders, maybe even suggesting things to do. It's basically like having a personal assistant give you a quick briefing throughout the day to make sure you're on top of everything. And this proactive help isn't just on your phone, it extends to your wrist too. On the new Pixel Watch 4, you can talk to the Gemini assistant without doing anything. No "Hey Google," no button presses. You just lift your wrist up like you're going to talk into it, and you just start talking. The watch is smart enough to know you're not just checking the time. It's a really seamless, hands-free experience. Okay, so let's take a step back. We've talked about an AI camera coach, a zoom that fills in the blanks, and even a voice cloning translator. What does all this stuff actually add up to? I mean, is this really the future, right here in our hands? Well, when you connect all these dots, the story Google is telling becomes super clear. The Pixel 10 isn't being sold as just another phone. It's being framed as an intelligent partner. It's a device designed to actively figure out what you need, to take care of the boring stuff for you, and yep, here it is, to deliver on that original promise of giving you back your most valuable resource, your time. But, and this is the big question to leave you with, as this kind of tech gets deeper and deeper into our lives, it does make you wonder, when an AI can fill in the details of a photo or even perfectly mimic your voice, where do we draw that line between something that's just genuinely helpful and something that's creating a subtly altered reality? Definitely something to think about.